Hey everyone in the studio, I wanted to give us a little overview of the DTX Pad 12 that we just got in. I'm going to leave it out in the studio for you all to use, but just kind of want to give you a little run through in case you haven't used it. Sorry if this is a little bit of a slow video, but I'll try to just hit the important things. So the first thing to realize is that I've got it all hooked up so that all you need to do is plug in this cord. So we will have this extension cord with the whole thing so that you can make sure that if you're outside you can plug it in, or if there's a long reach. But keep this with the cart at all times. Now hopefully you'll notice that everything booted up, and I'll try to get in as close as possible so you can see what I'm doing here. Big thing is, don't mess with any of the stuff below. I've got it set so that we shouldn't be blowing any speakers, but it should be plenty loud enough for any concert stuff or anything that we need. So in terms of the unit, it's rather simple. All you have to do is hit it and figure out what you want. So you can change anything you want. They have lots of presets. So they have just a general percussion one. Sometimes they have a little loop in there. And these obviously can be played with sticks, or you can play it with hands. You'll notice down here, if you're supposed to play it with sticks, it'll look regular, but if you scoot it over a couple and you see something like that that looks like a little hand symbol, that means the settings are set to be a lot more sensitive so that you can touch it and play it with your hand. So just be mindful of that. If you use a stick, it's going to be really loud all the time probably, unless you play soft on those. So we've got lots of percussion kits. We've also got lots of different fun sounds and things that you can use. It's got lots of drum set sounds, and so that's all great. You can go through and have fun with that. Now the big thing to remember is, if you're wanting to adjust things, these are really important arrows. So if you're trying to get in percussion like we're in right now, you'll have P and then some numbers. If you want to go to the next thing, you'll have user kits. And so these are the ones that we're probably going to use the most for, especially kind of coming up with sound effects for band and for anything that we might need. So there's over, I think, 1,000 or 999 user kits on here. So if you want to find one and make it yours, whether that's 167, it doesn't matter. Just pick one and make it your own if you'd really like. And so all you have to do to make these user kits your own is move a sound into them. So if you're in a user kit and you find some of them, oh, well, that one I've been playing around with, it, they'll all generally be completely silent. So you'll notice that when I tap it, one of these lights comes up, and that means that you're hitting it and nothing's happening because there's never been a sound assigned there. So all you have to do, go into voice, and then you hit the pad, and it knows, okay, now that pad, I'm going to assign a sound to it. So let's say that I want to put a kick drum, so that's KK for kick drum, and then I can just go up through the different ones. All the different kind of kick drums. So let's say I like that one. All I got to do is hit store and then enter, and it'll say, are you sure? And then press enter again. It'll take 10 seconds, but it'll load it. Now that's in there. So you can program all these to all the different sounds that are in this actual module. Now let's say that, especially one of the big reasons that I got this module, or this Pad 12 kit, is so that we could have access to some of the more expensive instruments that are, kind of cumbersome to lug around, to store. And so one of those things is tie gongs. So what I did is I went online and I found a AIFF file of a tie gong, and I used Audacity to pitch it down an octave so that it would be a bass tie gong. So all I want to do, if I want to add this, let's say, into this pad on the user 3 kit, I just plug it in, because I put it on a thumb drive. I plug that thumb drive in. It'll say, okay, you're on the user kit. Now I'm on that one. So let's now take it from the, I have to hit shift and wave, which underneath, that's import. So we're going to now import that tie gong number 1 AIF that I had. So hit enter. Now it's importing it. And so now I'm going to say again, I want it there, enter, and now it's saving it under that pad. So let's say that I've got this tie gong sound here that I want. Sorry, it's uploading. So now that's some pitch. I don't know. Let's say that that's C or whatever. Let's say I also need like a lower G. I can either go into Audacity and change it, which is probably the easiest thing to do, and pitch it down. It's very easy in Audacity. Just select the sound file, go to Effect, and then go to Change Pitch, and it'll show you very easily how to do that. But let's say I want to do it here really quickly, and I want to put it here so I have a lower tie gong sound. I can put it there by selecting that pad, and then enter again. It's now importing it into that pad. Now it's going to be the same pitch as the one next to it, but I'm going to show you how you can change the pitch, whether that be up or down. So now you can see those are both in. So I can pull this out and be fine with it. So to change that, I'm going to tap on it, and then I'm going to, I'm going to go to the voice setting. So the voice you can kind of think of as the options, and then I'm going to arrow over until I find tune/output, tune as in tune the pitch. Then I'm going to enter that, and now it gives me plus, and I can plus and minus the pitch. So I can hold it down, and you can hear the pitch is going up. So now I have two pitches of those. I can also affect other things in here, like the volume. So right now everything's set at 100. Just as a simple volume, but this is MIDI, so it's actually 127 is the loudest. So you can mess with that if you want, but just know that you can put it a little louder than its original setting. You can also pan it. We have two speakers down below. So right now it's pan center. If you want to pan it to the right speaker, you could do that, or you could pan it to the left speaker. That gets a little bit more involved, but it's a neat effect to know how to do. Now, if I want to, and I think that that's all the main effects. So you can see, even if you're, so I'd store this. Let's say I've got everything done. I'd store it, press enter, and then press enter again. Now I've got my sounds. So let's say I'm playing my gig, and I've got my bass sound, and I got my low gong, and then my higher gong. So we can really use this for a lot of things like bass tie gongs, bass Almglocken. We can also use this for like if you're in an orchestra pit and you're really tight on space and you need like 3 timpani, a concert bass drum. You know, we still want to use concert acoustic instruments whenever possible. But this is great, especially if there's some specialty instruments like I need a couple chime notes, but I don't need all of them. You could set those chime notes to be up here if they are, or you know, something like that. If you need like a one sound that I found on online was like a camera sound. So you can put that in there in case you need that kind of like sound effect or a train whistle or something. Which again, we do have train whistles, but this is a nice way to have an alternative kind of more advanced option if we want to get into that and use that for different musical situations. So hopefully that helps everyone kind of understand exactly what we're using this for, and I encourage you to play around with it. Again, just try not to blow the speakers or hit it like super hard. You know, you can do a lot of great things with this, but as with all electronics, they are fragile. So when you're wheeling them outside, first of all, if you have to wheel it outside, be super slow, be very careful with it. Don't go over anything bumpy, don't go over rocks, try to find the smoothest route possible, and take it slow. I've got it kind of hooked up so that things shouldn't fall out. A lot of the things are buckled down or are screwed into place, so hopefully that won't be an issue, but we still want to take great care of it. If you do find that there's ever any issue, obviously come and talk to me, and I can either help you figure out the kit or try to problem solve or troubleshoot with you. So all you have, you don't need to touch any buttons to turn it off. Just unplug it. It probably isn't the best way in the long run, but I think it's probably the easiest way rather than trying to remember power button, power strip, get that power strip, try to put each speakers on. Try to make this really simple so that all you got to do is plug it in and unplug it. So if you do have your kit saved and you've been working on it, you can just unplug it and it should save it. So hopefully that helps everyone understand a little bit about how to use this. Experiment around with it, have fun with it. Again, don't try to blow the speakers, but I think it's set at a volume where hopefully that's not even an issue. All right, thanks everyone, have a great day and act some jacks.